Hi and welcome back to another 5-minute guitar lesson. Today we're going to be talking about the parts of a guitar, and I have one right here with me. And about halfway through this video you'll see this magically turn into an electric guitar. So first we're going to start all the way at the top, and I'm going to go over a little analogy that I like to use for guitars. Guitars are like giraffes. They have a head, which is this big piece of wood up here. They have a really long neck, and then they have a body back here. Okay, so now that we got the biggest parts out of the way, let's go over a little bit more of the teeny tiny details. Okay, so on the head, you'll notice we have these silver pieces. Sometimes they're black, depends on what guitar you have. But realistically, this is what we're going to be looking at. Okay, so we have these, which are called tuning keys. We have these little pegs sticking out top. Those are called tuning pegs. Most people just refer to the whole assembly to be tuners, and that's perfectly fine. Now we have right here, this is called a nut. The way a guitar works is a string vibrates between the nut all the way across the neck down to here, which this white piece of plastic or bone or graphite, whatever your guitar uses, is called a saddle. So that's what makes the guitar make noise. Then along the neck you have these vertical metal bars. Now those metal bars are called frets. When you press down behind a fret, the string no longer vibrates to the nut and saddle, it vibrates from the saddle to whatever fret you're pressing behind, changing the pitch of the string, and that is how we would play a note on guitar. Now, depending on your guitar, you can have anywhere from, I've seen 18 all the way up to 32 frets, depending on how crazy of a custom build you get. Most commonly, acoustic guitars will have about 20. Electric guitars will have 21 to 24, depending on the manufacturer. So once we get down the neck, all the way it connects into the body. So we have the body of the guitar here, like we talked about a minute ago. We have down here that saddle sits in a piece called a bridge. Now the bridge holds the strings. Now, can't just do it by itself, so it uses these little, if you take them out, they're almost like stakes that you'd stick in the ground for a tent. Those are called bridge pins, and essentially they help hold the ball end of the strings down. If you haven't seen the ball end of a string, essentially it's a long string like you see on the guitar right now with a tiny little ball on the end, and that holds the ball end in. Then we have a sound hole. Sound hole allows the noise of the strings to vibrate and resonate, so it's a little bit louder. Acoustic guitars have a very unique sound because of this. So that's everything to do with an acoustic guitar. So let's go ahead and let's get our electric out. Okay, so right here we have a pretty standard looking electric guitar, probably one of the most popular styles out there. There are several different styles of electric guitars, but most of the parts are relatively similar, if not the same. Now when you get to the body, that's where it's a little different. So on this guitar we have what's called pickups. Most electric guitars will have pickups. Actually all electric guitars should have pickups unless you're modding them. Now these are pickups right here, these things that you see. There's 3 of them. Now what those do is they allow the electromagnetic field to be read when you play the string and projected through a speaker or amplifier. It's called an amp, but most people would just know it as a speaker if you're learning and you're not really sure about the vocabulary yet. Down here we have a pickup selector switch. All the way down is the bottom one, up one is these 2, middle is just that one, up one more is those 2, and then up all the way is that one. We have a volume control and 2 tones. Volume is obviously how loud the guitar is. Tones control how much brightness or darkness there is to the tone. That's a little technical, probably hard to understand, but essentially that's what those are. Come down here, we have a bridge and saddle assembly. These saddles on this, if you didn't notice, are actually all individualized to the string, so they're completely adjustable. The bridge unit is just a plate, and then the strings actually come through back here to a block and Tremolo System. So Tremolo System, if you ever see like a whammy bar, it's like a bar sticking out of the body of the guitar that goes like this, and it makes the guitar go ooh. That's a whammy bar, and I know I probably sounded ridiculous right there, but I'm trying to explain things to you guys. So yeah, that's the bridge assembly on this guitar, and the last thing we have is this little hole right there. That is called an input jack. We plug the guitar cable into the input jack, and then we plug it into the amplifier, and that is how we would make the guitar louder, get all those crazy effects that you'd hear electric guitarists get. I hope this video has been incredibly helpful for you guys. I know knowing the parts of your guitar is really difficult to learn. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. If you didn't, you can use that other button. Please subscribe so you can get notified when another video is going to be coming out. If you're learning guitar, nothing's more important than getting that material you'll need to learn the guitar. So thanks again, guys. I'll see you in the next 5-minute guitar lesson.